got a chance to catch up with a bunch of other corporates as well as fintechs to understand their innovations and the business on ground.
Yeah, look, I think I'll separate the fund for a second, if you allow, because the fund is not looking at sectors as a whole right now. It's more looking to generate alpha using data, AI, but on security-specific selection. But in terms of the sector itself, I think the industry here, as you can see, is buoyant. There's innovation is premium here in terms of the quality that you're seeing. And more and more capital is coming in. So I think that's fostering more and more people to come up with new ideas. How do we make investing, access to capital markets easier? We had a really good discussion now about, for example, how do you extend beyond public markets into private markets, and how do you bridge that? So I think the fact that the fintechs are so vibrant and so focused on answering these kind of very specific questions is super encouraging for the industry.
Right. Fintechs are broadly accessing the private markets currently, at least the Indian fintechs. And there are a few fintechs that have, access the public markets. And, being an asset management company, you connect with the public markets more. Yeah. Going ahead, do you feel, there will be more access for Indian fintechs to the public markets? And do you think that there is any kind of tweaks, any kind of changes in the regulations that may be necessary for that?
Yeah, it's interesting because the panel I was on just now is exactly about that. And we did talk about, firstly, the public market ecosystem for India in general is vibrant, right? That's why we're here with the joint venture. We think this is going to go 2 to 3x from here on from an equities perspective. So more and more people have the ability to come to public markets and access that pool of capital. And we talked about, how do we reduce those, let's say, frictions, right? Whether it is from just the paperwork that's required, just the due diligence that's required, how do you make that easier for the companies to do? And then on the other side, how do companies make it easier for investors that are looking at those companies that are coming from private to public to have more information about them? So all of that is getting, I would say, digitized and easy to consume, easy to provide. So the transition of these companies from private to public markets, I think, is going to be increasing going forward, and they're seeing a very robust ecosystem in the public markets.
Sure. Today is the last day of your first launch. You launched an active equity fund. Okay, and can you give us some context about it? Like, how's it doing? And going forward, like, what are the sectors you would be very optimistic to, invest this fund in those industries?
Yeah, so I think without getting into the details of the numbers, because the NFO is still live, we still have a few hours to go. What I will say is we are extremely, extremely happy with the response that we've got from the retail market to this fund. It's a new idea. It's a completely new way of investing in equity markets. We're using a lot of data, AI, technology. We are a direct digital model. That means people are primarily accessing us through our own app or through digital platforms. So taking all that into account, it is a first of its kind. So the response that we've seen so far has been phenomenal. I think the one stat that I will share that really I am super excited about is that of the investors that are coming into our funds, over 10% of those investors are completely new to the market.
Growth, in my view, is a function of how we create a lot of our distribution strategies. The play of digital. I will tell you today, of course, we are in the GFF. We are the insurance partners. We are the innovative insurance partners to entire GFF. Okay. The real trick is we are the most populous country in the world, 1.4, 1.5 billion people. Geographically also, we are very diverse, very different, language, culturally, everything is different. If one thing unites us, it is actually becoming technology. And technology is something I can today communicate to anybody in any language. I can present myself sitting anywhere. I can give service like instantly. Like the concept which we are launching in our booth, which if you cover, you see is like a health ATM. Just as the way you get your cash from an ATM immediately, you should get your insurance policy immediately. So in my view, technology is the unifying force, which we want to heighten in our times to come.
Okay, so now coming to the latest issue, that 18% benefit you have passed on to your customers, but few of your private players have reduced the commission, so you have also reduced the commission for your partners?
So what we are trying to do is, look, all of us have to be complying on various things. One of the most important changes which IRDA did was also the expenses of management guidelines. Now, if we don't adjust our commission, I'm not saying reducing, because I don't think we are reducing commissions across the board. It is just that where the EOM limits are getting higher, you have to moderate in any ways. It doesn't matter whether it is GST or not. So for us, health is a very young vertical. As of now, we have not made much changes, but we will adjust looking at the way the compliances have to be met, including what we pay out to our channel partners.
Okay. So now you have a new brand name of IndusInd General Insurance, and your promoters during the takeover of company has said that the ultimate plan is to get the listing of our insurance subsidiaries or insurance companies. So how much you have moved ahead in that listing plan, or means how much more time it will take?
So, I must say you must hold a bit, because this is just about a few months we have got into the transactions. Our name change just got approved. We are still in the process of rolling this out. We have recently raised some capital. Just last week we raised about 400 crores of capital. All these are towards that goal, of value creation. When we list, how we list, that the promoters need to decide.
Okay.
My job is to really see we do value.
Whatever they is thinking of, their vision is there for listing of insurance company, you are working on it.
See, you have heard IndusInd International making that statement. We have no reasons to doubt that.
It is just day 1 which is about to conclude at GFF, but more importantly day 2 and day 3 are important, because Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to speak, UK Prime Minister is going to join, and RBI Governor is also going to make some of the announcements at the stage. But more importantly, Anjali, are you looking forward to testing yourself for the new biometric UPI?
Of course, it is going to be such an ease when it comes to making those payments, but I'm also particularly interested in looking at the AI soundbox as well and speaking to it.
Definitely, but all you need to do, viewers, just tune into ET now to get all the updates, because we'll be covering the GFF on ground.